nam na metete minam na metete
What you pay? I want to pay. Don't mind me. Every Tuesday I am many because I remember my brother. Who say do fear than many so I'm an abaso ya no. If you are let's say no. Somewhere on. Yanso ya huye niwa sanso na innocent wa ni na pe ma observe pa. But you yakola no yakola money. Innocent here and kolana wo ya ma me ni papa no teche me da me nya bi o bi sam ya meka apele innocent Biliamako.
Oh, Captain, Yami Adoma Hodeo.
No, someone who had the iron so everything fine.
Everything good.
Good. Absha, Mijidi say, Menso Hoya, I own him some Hoya that Obia Hoya, Bonitator. But Quakrata no and Yane if young kind, Miana Mekai. One way I know so yasane. Am I a dinko Quakrata on the tinny corner, Batran Abasa, Edibre Wono, Wonum and Kratuni, in Pacho, Yanfan Kratui.
Onia krata in pense mu. You me call masunya sing. Eye en napa macro. So ye napa. No ye soko. Heaven black insecticide spray and mosquito coil. Heaven dear. Barco pe. Adama West African Limited.
And I say, one of the soya senior de bro. Say service in a yarn and croffoy, but uchu mutai. Omo be a matching. Yes, number one. Yet I must say. And Rana make kind near maybe from embassies be near dear nature say as a mitipe say you could no be sano natures as a many be sano say judge say ofa machia. I was saying I could be. Yeah, that's so. And yeah, Tiano no. Yeah, the more Moshe any more muti and I say. Yeah, the intimate here, assumpful, yeah, and qua. Yes, wamane ene suma na ya de bremo but mo amutie no na mama yen sa akwanya no ma yetimi eduru ba bia yedrei aminda edwo we mu mpanifo ase ene onua group ni nyina
I love you all.
Afi mintimi narrow it down embra the production team from ahomachia besita ma ebepon afi technical department and afi the presenting body Yatiti, Fiatago, myself, Solo, everybody, Felix, Nat, Ayano Bijana Habi, na waba Fredo, waba Solo, na fe wetimi, Aqua Pijan Soso. Moye Juma, afe panel members Abba show you in this year, last year, Ni Waha, Ivan Ewaha, Won Abba show no Sukuni na Yenu Yapeni. KKD kwesiche dakwa enche obeta ehunu ye toto niema wa wani beje pa munyina mabọ mmọden se ne usori anopa na se wuso TV wuso radio a morning show a ne subini omanyim mache medie ene makamfo ene mapamfo nyina no ye asomfo a aya na yasoma ye ne yeso amane ena ye de ebebo emu enche yebeda na ni adane yensa weni beji a chensa me hu se me ya na nkrofo osua ti ye dane yensa yebeda na yensa eye yase yade bebrebe bi ya na ewo manyim won enum nsa enum tobacco enna fe nuane ahodo ne anom de a asichire bebrebe gum wono World Health Organization akasa sese Ghana yire ne ho ase obesi sa ne mana no kwan a afibia obetumi aboa 3.5 billion Ghana cedis anu a obetumi ade egu kuram etumi de akona nim
bra we ne yire ye nurse
ya da no ene Ghanaian Times
bra we ne yire ye nurse
Ghana ni bi so a wa America watwetwo wakum na busuafo Eminu and a fee daily guide the corona so who say ex-NDC MP son jailed in states such as America where and I jano atumsi kukuro Aisha one so innocent to Munyano. In 7 days, go a cratano dorso, but they meet me about more money and made above way. One way so ya sending my debre one craton in here.
Onia kata in pensemu. You may call Masunya sing. Eye and napa macro. Soy napa. No ye soko. Heaven black insecticide spray and mosquito coil. Heaven dear. Barco pe. Adama West Africa Limited.
Alright, Maminda Heaven mosquito coil and insecticide spray. And a fee and a pa and a fee Adama for asset. Some so ya cinema ya debre war. Innocent, maybe all of us all come before and say I could ever discuss. I don't know come born in GF.
Captain said, yeah, no, never issues are trendy and but yes, your football be through this particular state because for quite some time now, I make catch us as I have sub-region here now here in neighboring countries like Burkina, Mali, and other countries over the years, and I can football now more moving. But I'm so much consciously I build a particular system no for quite a long time. Then youth football you no teams are straight ahead of Ghana, and consistently your football has been sinking. You see, gone well the days and now you cap football, a captain just a game. And through it, me say you leave it to the discretion of few individuals. I brandy as football people, but for quite some time I'm be a and so what when you scan it through the global arena, you know that football has been commercialized.
That's right.
It's a huge commercial entity. No more a game. So if it is no more a game, I wouldn't mean say GF and it say GB. Somebody must be a lawyer before say obetime a lady. And I say any other entity like GJ, you must be a member before. Because of football, a huge commercial entity or minor stake a woman tino. We need somebody our competence, the technical, your know-how, the knowledge, expertise, to bring things to bear, maximize the games in this football commercial space. But I'm so mind any vision, any plan to be seen there. Despite the huge potential, economic potential, football or fan still. You narrow no to few individuals. I say answer na beti me pray for GFA president Krano. You must be a football person. Meaning say still we still see football as a game, not a huge commercial enterprise, and as a huge commercial entity. And these people are transforming into a criminal cartel over the years. Ya hijack football no, and they are using it to do business. But they are breaking my heart and they say the political leadership in this particular country and consistently has been sitting aloof, watching this downward spiral. And I echo so I see that there is no leadership in this country. I have told you that the first time a Ghana football in your plan is when Ben Kofi came up with his 5-year development plan. And on a real Ghana you call Athens. Sir, your friend is Athens. That is the and Meteors. World Cup will be, and that was the last time I had to qualify Kobe in 20 years in here. We've not been able to qualify. So our plan out of that, and I your first qualification to the World Cup in 2006 because players no more call Athens, those young guys and they graduate here to go into that particular World Cup. Captain, it is a time no there has been any plan be Question time and when the time attention is shifting from a local football to the Black Stars. And I am making the Black Stars in a cash cow. And I am making money out of it. And you expect Senka, you bet me pay more attention to develop football. I will chroma because my catcher say youth complaining about mass unemployment among the youth. The economic hysteria and I'm chroma man for your jumanya. Say ya football no ya mrantie benya jumaya. Nipa dodo benya future because Thomas Partey anya football bia nkobi ni babi onanam. Asamoah nkobi oni babi onanam but ne football atro dia mo. They are well known everywhere. And the Chelsea football so I don't say you put premium on leaders or more leady, but not actors now. Nippon or more skills never to me training or more. I'm a football. Captain, Look at the sad state of Accra House of Folk near league. Obi an individual can follow the Black Star to a World Cup or by returning home as a football. If as a Black Star management committee member with $100,000. Not team no league, I travel to Tamale, Techima, and as a four cobanum or when you had the $27,000 I share in some. Does it make sense? A truck clearly is a football. No, there hasn't been any plan. It is just about money. And the individuals no mudi achire no omope and this how hire former cartels obiara in the team GFA even journalists your moya sports you cry your GFA boss in the journalists ho and your more the other side because take it here you many permanent tournament achintino ya ba nobody's ready to dissect the critical issues so e affect your football better say no nipa na ya the football shop nsem no over the years no ya turn ya who into a criminal cartel and you use football no to make gains in as for them. But there's our mind. I am building a stake in football. My culture as a talent is all over. What is the national plan? I buy a baby no to AstroTurf etugu. Yes, see, without any proper or structured football plan be a day. Said that now you see can you see AstroTurf we are locking net one no say. Yadisika yes I near mano, but football development, local league nugu. Teams no need plan. There is absolutely no funding na support your teams no. Even maybe akwa just sponsorship kwa ya de be share league nim no. Na ya finance akwan afa sika na sia chadi na teams no sofa. Say ya pese ya build the football. Na ya football ni ye captain. Me proposal one say ya Ghana for home. Yam band ya home from all tournaments national team for 5 good years. Yam chi ya home free all tournament team for 5 good years. Na sa sika na ye de ye those investments na captain. Yam fa measure ye court football, youth football and ye league no. Si yetimi ya na si ye league no timi gina ye court ni ye na say ye fan say even inter schools kura na talent every hoba bebrebe because my Kelesian and those players nyina they came through ye fan say school football na say for them na ye make sure say ye be build the football from the trenches from the grassroots na say ye firi na ye ba we will be able to build a team na national team na the Black Stars na am ya bogus team say you do na ye nam when mama ya won hane pachaw and that has become the modus operandi for quite some time now. But these guys, instead of them to spend money, build talent and identify those in talent na ye nature or more chrome has say na ye making sure say ne ye team build the team or by Ghana a local football na ye bona at least ye bet me nya about 30% and not 40% of your players no more the national team. And those boggers in bad they only come to complement the team, but and yet meeting the whole national team. Now per local player Akukra wouldn't be. And the GFA president will be bold enough to tell the world say local league in Ninya. Now local league in Ninya captain Oma Menes or a local league and Asame Papa and also a local league, you know. These are shameless bunch of individuals. Captain, these are just shameless bunch of individuals. Omunim your more because Nyamana Ekoso at the political side, no, that is what they are replicating. And because there is no sense of direction, there is no sense of purpose. Obian who are all leading your mind, you know, everybody feel comfortable doing your more. And now I'm going to Kumasi and I know weekend. Yes, Matisa Waka Honsen so I will not even go there. Captain, your football is in a state of disaster. And the criminal cartel no hijack football no. It is about time a parliament as an institution should be responsible enough to delve in because I have seen a lot of countries or more team are going to the black first of one national team are regulated even the FIFA bando crana. Captain, yes you can hear the shemo young quitting from all international football and as all competition because we know very well young Kobobra. But and I'm saying these guys they are in their criminal element into the they know most of them who call Jubilee House. Telling the president say yeah kwaje kapa but knowing very well say even your first bones who are coming from Makruma Blasters me sha say you to sika blaster for over 30 good years in captain yam for America tonto wan kra ba Kroma as scapo free say money free ye me hu say Blasters akọ we ni sabi chamber port kra dia ba Kroma but look at the amount of money you push him there bia na be say I say on the other side no talent do not say yetimi nature individuals be yetimi abo mo all these things nya ye nya. And this is where the political leadership must step in. Now you're regulating, you're making sure say your football near the plan because I buy not the plan direction to her. Then you force everybody to whip in line. And yes, sir, now you jab football no, to these guys, sir. I think say you better your document because some of us are now advocating for the young guys to take up leadership position. But I think say quite some time now. Keto Kreku as an individual, not all by say name there. But quite or nam so. now the current state of our football, I am hugely disappointed. And same with your first other young guy, I had the Kumasi, I also call regulatory or yes, the messy state Kotoko find itself in this particular way. Clearly a trust here independent individuals or munim do more now mummy some emotional way they just act based on emotions and those kind of tantrums to go up on think you be our vision our plan. Now the football now I understand how to nurture, identify, and build the local football infrastructure. No ha. Obi obeba na just say blaster, na your PS can you go blaster. Now I say you say ya be buo, ye nyina ye chire hu. Ye kwa kopesika ba bedi. Ye ko Egypt ko si say sika ye kotogu ye. Sit down and analyze the amount of money you push into the blaster for in the last 10 years. Now, besides, they call football youth development more. And can have any agenda. Sa plan ye need and I leave to few individuals who call themselves football people as to whether they have the knowledge, as to whether they have the competence, the expertise to manage football or not. That has become a subject of debate. But when they are done a duo chrome here, because young guys are only football. What if they don't have the knowledge, they don't have expertise to run football? Our football not a huge economic way. No, young jam or said, or mine your purpose in the direction. Say you must send a DABO Kruma captain. So I think the Ghana football is in a mess. Young coming up with a similar planner. Ben Kofi Dubai 5-year development plan. No. So within the 5 years, you're making sure that we are not going into any tournament. Because tournaments in a quiet cobra. Do you know that as we speak, Black Meteors call your first Mkogu Monima Mobile. Wouldn't say your first Cote d'Ivoire, your first way on my the same youth we know. But Ghana and compete Mali. Ghana and compete Burkina Faso. But these countries, they are not more yet. Over the years, no more can you can't afford by a more within. But yet no more mobile. Because you tournament be a come be Burkina be almost say yes Mali almost say because more plan the plan at all and that plan no because most of them are francophone countries there is a system more that access to go into the French France more academy in as for training and now one the those countries no more national team no bar won't mean yet but yeah no tetin semna na ya de echichire ho Ghana Nations Cup ya je 4 ya kasa kofasa Nations Cup title 4 no the bra captain Esheda Motobim and tefrene enkura egu sa cup because ya je in the 80s me kwa na yenyanwo me but football and a certain trender amount for infisu some modernity egumani nyina so kire adwen ni nimde so we need direction yebetime yi emotions afrim na ya driving a particular line yebetime abo obia because ye football here ebeye one of the your friends enterprises yebetime I employ a lot of the youth individuals are more talent then we add other football into it but you just say and you leave to few individuals are free some football people their discretion now one can football no until we mean lead GF now I think they are not just in ye nipa ye nim there
me remember saying jump straight into the issues okay all right and see a medical chat the youth of Ghana special shout outs to Mangasim Market Traders Association, Michia Amo, Vice Amo, Chairman Blay, Michia Fuji's Amo Secretary, and the Omakan Captain. And you know me call Obuasi, Glyphe side because share youth no and I didn't come up currently. Shout out to Glyphe youth, particularly King Dauda. Captain, I realize you can't democracy as every time, but you shouldn't democracy as I'm out for baby because I'm say democracy about to work again. Say every 4 years, 7 December, now I go to about they think that is supposed to be democracy. And then me church muka krana. I'm out for a better appreciation of what democracy is supposed to be. And Captain Sebe say ya chichu omaya enye na yebe tumi akotena Flagstaff House. Enye na yebe tumi akotena Parliament. Same way, you know, go to me into Supreme Court. Until the say we elect certain representatives. Say, got now, no more year, Juma Mayen. Until every 4 years, that's what happens. Say, you better Obama president, you better Obama parliamentarian. Say, year, Juma Mayen. And as a year, Juma Mayen, no, you Moka. Until every month, you president car.
you vice presidents, you ministers of state, and parliamentarians, chief justice, ni judges, ni na public funds, you amuka. Inti wo taxes, wo tuyano, wo electricity bill, wo tuyano, wo tax, petrol, so no. All of those monies, your baba no, your government, and our government workers, car. Inti, you should understand, sir. Young people, no, we the people, we have power. It is also the preamble of the Constitution. I'll say all power resides with us, the people.
That's right.
Until every 4 years, almost 3 years, I into about a month. Because I'm say 2 minutes a year there, and I cry 2 minutes. But the question is, people don't understand. Say we the people are to me a year there. Until we mistaking our government appointees say what to me. And it's as if they are the ones who control everything in the country, but it's not supposed to be so. And your minister or your president or your whichever it is, say IG people, it is public funds that pay these people. And they don't have any authority over the people. It is us who give them authority. Say, that's the first thing. And see, Captain, if I say, what's the say Apple company? What for be say CEO? What for cleaners? What for drivers? What for workers? What company more? And I try when we say every month, after say we to amukano. Oma mufa uchi na muyaska. And na company juma ni cars no omu using it anyhow. I mean they're not respecting the laws of the company. Captain, it's within your right as the owner of the company, so you can fire any one of them at any time.
That's right.
And see, say you talk about a government, right from the president down to the common flame member. Now every single time you better say there's this scandal, there's this scandal. Why is that we the people fail to take action on those things? Now, that's all we do. And all these things continue to happen. And see, it's gone on for a long time. What's happening is that they've changed positions. And see, they have assumed position of power, but a mandated power. Because and yet to me, to me, no. But Captain, even police for uniform, taxes, the tour. Uniforms, or boots, or guns, all of those things they used to work. No, we the people, Yesika and I toss mano. And see, when the people begin to understand, say this is the position of power we have, you stop begging your ministers, your MPs, your president, vice president, all of them. You stop begging them for things they are supposed to do for you. How is it that say demonstrations say we want security in our marketplaces, and I say public toilets in our marketplace? Now yes, right? So people we've elected, it doesn't work anywhere. But some said the people don't understand the position they hold, and now to me a munti. It is a MP Bao now yes, and say, oh, MP Bao. No, you don't beg for it.
MP boy.
You don't beg them because you are paying him to do that work. And he said, oh yes, I do. Say yes, you're supposed to do this, and this is why we pay you. And see, these things are supposed to be done. But I said the people don't understand the power we hold. Every time we say, yes, oh, honorable, oh, yeah, power, oh, yeah, no, you don't beg your workers. And see, Captain, I call it to say, Auntie Biaba. Now, our best friend say, oh, Captain Paucho, Pesa, ye, Jumani. Yeah, Oba, Jumanu, Bantem, Michelle, Paucho. It doesn't work like that.
Sure.
Because she's the one who has employed you. So she directs you how things are supposed to go. And see, if we are the ones who vote for these people every 4 years, your man will to me every 4 years, no, we demand from them what they are supposed to do. And yes, I and to the Market Traders Union of Mankesim, for a very long time, we made your tax. Apart from rent for the shop stalls, levies, it goes to pay your MP, it goes to pay your MCEs, it goes to pay the entire government machinery. And she said, more sorry, man who say, money public toilets or markets, no. Money proper lighting system or markets inside. Money running tap water. Money security in the market. And yes, I won't cost or bill. No. You've paid, and it is their right and duty of those you've mandated. Say, yes, and manual. And see, let's stop the begging. Say, oh, yes, yes, and no. Understand, say, to me crown. Until you have the power to demand from your government appointees whatever it is that you need. And see, Captain, meetings are with the market traders, especially, we are going to take it to the next level. Say, we would recognize our power. We will not beg anybody for anything any longer. We will demand what is our due. And if you know, say, to me, yes, we will stop paying you, which means you be ready. Captain, that's the first one.
Trust.
Right. Yenko Obuasi issue no.
Hey, I know when to be unkind.
I say now anytime.
Okay.
And Captain, 2020, National Security Ministry, among your documents be National Security Study document reports no. I'm going to say unemployment has become a national security threat. Among your research, I'm going to say unemployment is a national security threat. That's the first thing. Captain, say basa BC war any country and any town or community no. It affects all business within that community. Nothing works. And it's in the interest every time we will maintain peace and order in every single community. That's the first thing. Captain, I realize, sir, and I may hear a little research on Obuasi issues. No, I realize that anytime in Tokwabesi mining community BMUNA, it increases the prices of gold. That is one thing.
Sure.
And he said, and now you talk gold for conversation purposes. Say gold 1 kilogram, you bear $50,000. So in Tokwasi mining community no more. Gold prices best shooting from $50,000 to maybe $60,000 or $70,000 a kilogram. And so, Captain, don't you think, sir? Obi betu mi ati nasi aka say, oh, me pay extra sika enti me shada confusion be see her. Now me say excuse no, I increase the price of gold. Is it possible?
It is.
That's another one too. Enti, let's put this down.
Okay.
Captain, Obuasi is a mining community. Almost shall say almost 2 gold from Obuasi in the 1800s.
That's right.
Until for over 200 years, mining has been going on in Obuasi. It's the same, about the same time, you who say mining across Johannesburg. Captain, but you cannot compare Obuasi to Johannesburg. It is not possible. So see, I know Ghana is the one producer of gold in the entire African continent. Let's just say you have 2 gold chain, Johannesburg. And see, Ghana is producing 117 tons of gold every year. South Africa is producing 100 tons of gold every year. Let's just say we produce 17 tons more gold than South Africa is doing. 17 tons, no, a ton is 1,000 kilograms. And let's just say we are producing 17,000 kilograms of gold more than South Africa is producing.
Sure.
But, Captain, if you put videos down today or pictures of Obuasi and Johannesburg, Captain, you cannot compare the two.
Easy.
But why is it so? And so let's look at AG and the Obuasi youth. Obuasi youth are more organizing or more forming youth community mining association. Or more leaders. I must say, AGA, your decommissioned mines are must say more per no. More for mine and I juma wo. AGA say that be. And see, the youth don't have any other source of livelihood in Juma ni ho. Must say or musio. And see, they can't even go into fish farming if they try to. Or must say some of the do. Aye, brony sanya mano. Meji assassin with you, Masaseno. And see, right now, what do they want the youth of Obuasi to do? I'm just asking this, not to just AGA, but I'm asking this to the entire country and the entire leadership of this country. Say, what do they want the youth of Obuasi to do right now? So you cannot go and go into farming. You don't have any other source of livelihood to make a living. And see, what do they want the youth of Obuasi to do? And Captain, I like the youth of Obuasi. Omo nye basa for. Omo for me group. Omo say ye pay juma ye inti muma ye juma. They are not recognizing that. But in saying national security about, I catch you say even our president called ma warning. Okochuki. Okochuki ma USA. Wagner Group no. Ukraine, Russian mercenary groups are all around our borders, and that they've had intel say some of them are even moving into our northern territories. And see, if that is a threat, the possibility of terrorist attacks, Captain, in the way Al Qaeda and terrorist groups, in the way I'm recruiting, almost said that back. Kroma, I'm say Juma niho. And she said, youth, able-bodied youth or Namho, only Juma ye. He doesn't have anything to do. Now, Obia Bao say, me come out training, me ma you. Now, my will bear 2,000 Ghana cedis every month. What do you think the youth will do?
Sharp.
And see, you've come out to say that there is a national security threat. There are terrorists all around our borders, and they are even moving into our northern territories. Northern territories, no, no move free bar akra umbe ye karaye ni sa track push no. And she say no obi about say, member o training, member o tio, na me so to 2,000 cedis a month. How would the youth say no to this? And see, are you not setting up a condition that will promote instability and political instability in the country. And people are seeing this and they don't want to take action. No problem. The youth of Obuasi have formed a group. I must say, my Ejumanye. And Ejumano is not like going to create anything new. I must say, existing mining pits are must say, moon pebieb no, moon fire and no mine. Ejuma was so. I must say, there be. Captain, the youth of Obuasi are very strong. Meaning, say, if you observe when we went there,
Hey,
almost say, some they crawl on their bellies up to a mile. Captain, so called military training academy. Now, soldiers know training. One of the trainings they say they crawl. The almost the crocodile crawl. When say omoda belly so now more crawling. Now normal soldier poor in the training or you bear 10 or 15 minutes crawl or breath. But these are youth who do this every single day. They can crawl on their bellies for up to a mile. And these guys are saying, "Yeah, pesa you be bokron no, and you be fraud and that's baby." And see, mumma ejuma ye. Now ejuma is saying, "Pet that are musimum pebiem no, with the mumfa and umma na ye ejuma." No one wants to do anything about this. We have the Minister for Lands and Mineral Resources. He's quiet about this. Nothing is being said. So youth no buy out some more demonstrations in Sanyamano. Now you're afraid soldiers. Can't you say you need barracks or Obuasi? And so you have to bring soldiers from Kumasi or Baka from Accra to go to Obuasi to go and kill whatever chaos is ensuing there. And see, for 10 years, the youth of Obuasi have been crying out, say, Omupe Jumaye. They want jobs to do. They don't want to go into any kind of crime. They want to do correct, legitimate work. And see, give us something to do. And all these cries are going on deaf ears. Captain, I don't want a situation now. The youth will become so desperate to the point, say, if any of these terrorist groups go into these communities, they'll be able to recruit them. I cannot allow any of my youth to go into terrorism. And so we are making one final appeal to everyone who is involved in this issue, particularly the National Security Office, to the Minister of Lands and Mineral Resources. This is the last call we are making, sir. Step in and provide job opportunities for the youth of Obuasi. Because someone will say unemployment is a national security threat issue right now. And it's said, sir, the devil finds work for idle hands, and that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. We're trying to stop these things from happening. The youth of Obuasi have organized themselves into groups and associations, and they are pleading, sir, Omupe Jumaye. And see, the best solution right now for everyone to have peace and to restore investor confidence in the mining communities, particularly Obuasi, no. I must say, the decommissioned mining pits AG is no longer using. Yema youth no quite say Omkoye Juma was our pits, no. And you can regulate it. Captain, they are ready. I must say, so all the mom will cry now budget taxes at the end of every month, but they are willing to pay. And see, what else do we want the youth of Obuasi to do? Again, this is the final plea to the government authorities, to everyone who is involved. The youth of Obuasi are saying, Mamukwain Namukoye Juma will abandon decommissioned pits, no. And if these calls fall on deaf ears and it continues to go this way and the youth become desperate, they basi. Captain, thank you.
I mean, now I say.
I think the issue of person make has me. I'm say the mahene sembia okaya generate a lot of heat and LGBT. And also co parliament akwakoye way. The mahene issues not issue now raising no meno. I'm not interested in the comment itself or the object of the comment, but baby and nam at the level of staggering hypocrisy. Agada eka yes.
President can be obi anka actually.
Exactly.
No my hen kan dey say obi ani abiro do my hen.
Captain, and I make say I am not interested in the object of his comment, but in some nam ho. Captain, in some no okay and say we nipa asabi we nyansani na obetena se and you be very analytical na wahwem din. Then he was seeking to avoid something ebeba. Captain, Ebetimia Abe indicted the credibility of the judiciary. Because of the president's infamous comment, I want to make it that Dantino, whatever be the outcome of this particular criminal trial, whatever be the outcome, if in the end, Jachi Question is found guilty, if he's convicted, there is no way anybody out there or accept say it was done out of good faith or maybe a marano because of the infamous comment the president make here. Say the Domahinis appeal no was even your friend said an attempt to avoid what is to come. About me indicting both the president and the judiciary, and to say what he said was prejudicial. No, minimum be a law school because captain, the two issues are distinct issues. Now you can't answer them. The AG taking the case to court for prosecution is different from the court sitting and looking at an issue. They are two distinct issues. The man's comment, one can say court rinja asemnudi, and he never passed any comment on the merit or the demerit of the case pending before the court. But rather, AG now or the assemno corner, and the AG have power to file for null prosecution at any point in time, and it has been happening. The SEC bebre okroma. So he was calling on the AG to file for null prosecution. As to whether the AG will do or not, that is up to him. I mean, just said that my hand or power to force the man to file for null prosecution. But to equate this assembly or can is equal to or is tantamount to say comment, some form of prejudicial and as for America say nipa trans no opinion who ya, then they will understand that some now can will rather help government and the integrity of the judiciary because of the president's infamous comment. And I'm say Katie Hamo Ababaki can sembebre. You see, Captain, it's so annoying.
Where
Katie Hammond. I'm sure say about Obuasi senka on na mamfa pen ink and try the age in winning sound anytime you are because I know what age
Hey!
Yes. I think say beboa.
Sir, Katie am one nama.
Yan tro ni age ngu ni nsa ho. And anytime be the microphone be share nsam be na ni bo age ni so be kai say wanyin. So I be guide no and he will be less reckless. Captain, and some what can wo krom ha say enya de ketwa. And what in China now we had the current state of this country. Now have a be on mine na me captain. Now every day be advocating for competent people to lead charge of this particular country. Now you have these characters. Still, in charge. Coming out with policies, policy intervention. Free this quagmire. Clearly, it gives an indication that we are getting nowhere. Because and that is my concern. Because Otinchen or Kanasema, many issue. Recently, he was given a patter by Parliament, and one of the biggest issues both minority and majority are confronted with why he passed through that particular proceedings and or your Minister of State. Yeah. And if this is the way Okasa, and even Kasa and Okasa cry a bit selective and because say you can't nip on one metal in politics when it comes to chief Nasafa. Yanti Kroman or Chechen necessary, and one for dinner, demonstration Okroma. But Obia Ninatan because I Ghana and he's entitled to. And he has been making a lot of comments. I gather a lot of public way, but still he's there. Nobody's complaining because some Americans will be a Ghana Obi entitled at any point in time. So I bet you about the current state. Said the name Mexico and said the free service we have to chill on my no. But I walk now we are opinion as a woolly D a Maya. Nipe show, nipe sinya. There are a lot of people who look at people on the political stage. Now you see bibi, you might not know who is learning from you. So always, obabo until now be kasa. So reflect. Adia nipe sinya say bebe tim diabobra. But if this is the kind of legacy we are leaving behind, if this is the kind of comment parliamentarian can just sit somewhere and vomit out for people to learn, Captain, I think that we are getting nowhere because my culture say. Ni can say me about the youth. Mental revolution and ya waging on the minds and on the psyche of the young people. A time will come and there are a lot of politicians in this country who lose their essence and their relevance because the ordinary and the average youth are conscious and wabe awakened and socially no munim de ekoso, so you can no longer lie to them. You can no longer come and brag say me na manyini and I call law school. It is not about law school it is about the intellect aftermath the school now It is not about certificate. But Captain, so we call law school. Now say you need to tell people say you were a lawyer before I'm for who say you are a lawyer. Through your deeds, your actions must reflect must communicate to people say yes, nipa way a doctor, nipa way a master's degree. In some now becano should say do what dance here. Your words should be a form of advertisement for you. The kind of knowledge and expertise are all. Now, if you have to go and tell people, say, me away, and someone like, oh, aha, sir, then it means, I don't know what's wrong with the name, no, or cry and fit. And that is the level where youth are becoming conscious. And they want to look at leaders as said, in this modern world, the way very innovative. Omode niema bebrebe ba like ye kan wotena se na obisa say omanya yetimi youth no nya adwuma nye niema ban and as a leader metimi de me ho ahyema ebetimi aboa ametimi maximize the potentials of the youth you look around like football ye kan is one of the huge enterprises ye betimi akom agric ministry ho aye na kwakoto yi it's another fertile avenue oba ye nsise ne niema ban na wudigo as a minister in charge of your friends agriculture okroma because yet now show issue we've been proposing and advocating for a number of interventions that we can do said by agric now over the years I the backbone of this particular economy you betime brief certain air into the economy ye pese yes amanfo a free various universities na se for no to various corporations to do national service small motor credit in Cocoa, Sabiomon Kwayashi or Hono, Agric, how do you provide the machinery and the necessary incentives? I am modernized. I'll bet me go into large scale rice farming and answer for international services. So will be called office and other man 500 Ghana cedis. Nippon or Bajatum to work on the farmland, you give the person double. People will be willing, people will be motivated to go into these areas. Omoko, Nasi yet me agric in a huge enterprise. I'm sure said there are a lot of things so better, and then we can go into our factory and we do the industry can as a panifo mu lead your mind when you look up to you in never be say and but we get to a level where panini kasana kasa you don't see the difference and then it's so disappointing and I think say and as are going forward you to me say obi be general to abamana. You don't just look at the political party. You don't just look at anything. Look at the individual, the competence and the kind of expertise. That is, these are the things I will say. So you vote should be individual based. A convince us so to abamano. Now ya continue to power more for just throwing up power seeker. Situation ya and we can never get out. Captain, and I LGBT issue and the parliament. But passing a legislation to regulate this LGBT way who parliament is just one leg. Captain, some person would do away with this LGBT way. There are other key areas I am more relevant than even law. I say yes. The last time now I was telling you, say, the cultural borders of this particular country, AGP. The moral borders of this country, AGP. And these are the two critical elements. I heard about free. Because what's the parliament? Argument, LGBT, say, these people consciously are waging war on the minds of our young guys. Oko TV, Oko YouTube now will check Katuma. Gain any ho. Oko Netflix now we movie again anyhow. So what the parliament will argue your child gave for no advert them naughty and all those things because and mentally they are normalizing those things for your kid. So beyond the legislation, because I have seen a lot of things. Yes, legislation me and Kasame support young regulated, but beyond the legislation, what are we doing? The cultural aspect of our society, the last time I was telling you, say, so person who can't on my story, and answer who can't on my culture, who DP more through books and through movies. These two enterprises, however, and they TV scene now, also a TV, and your Indian movie, and your friends a Chinese movie, and they did here. So, which culture are we emboldened for our people? Sabaya, you bet me divert or more drain from the Western culture to our culture, Captain. We have nothing. And consistently, we are exposing our kids to this same Western culture. I say, young penno, because say a new culture, it will be replaced, and that is what is happening. And then, baby, there is this, a Western culture, and then so we new culture, I better replace your culture. And at this point, we've proven that we don't have a new culture. So the Western, so the Western culture is replacing. That is why young Kurano can easily have access to some of these things beyond the legislation, because. So we say it's Yamra so by Obaba Chrono Kluba. Sure. But there be a robbery in Koso. Yankunipa. But there be our stories. Sure. So beyond the legislation, if we are really committed, say yes, I am man. Beyond the legislation, we need to build the cultural borders in Abubuno. Now the moral foundations of our very people, so yes, And by doing that, it means that we are strengthening even our churches. Then as a for no class, be a moral crusade. No, you better take in century and then as a for no. You then was in Jamba and then Oko church and Makacha molarity near attraction and a band century campaign. Oh, my men, your papa, nayo, sa campaign and I'm na your schools no syllables ni books e be kan ya betimi abu a bit of our culture into it sabe amam for betiase no e wo hefa so obi ko TV so ko hwe ye fen say ade I no so be kire na ade psychologically no or no so that person is constantly being exposed to western and cultural movies.
So na cry ye kire say dey worry with TV so
exactly you see and se munu ko an e ko so with TV so e captain na oman ye tima ye say 21st century na ye wo mi captain comfort me but TV so and you Ghana 21st century and me yesikaduro. How can you do that? Now we see your friend say Kaswa, Udu Malam Junction, Usia, Ubisa tax in Okoha, Oba me yesikaduro. They sit on TV broad day and they do this in the country. Your leaders name paying for parliament home, church leaders are him for her. They sit on TV on broad day. Yeah, we I saw 40 TV so yen century. You see, the Captain, on mind their development will be free. The psyche and the mindset of the people. Me person who say Ghana be year go to social media and go and look at the kind of things people are consuming. Clearly, just said nipa na yeti o man ya hira dada. Until say you benya a sense of purpose. Now yet me align with somebody or leading our vision, you know. Now what drag you along? What is driving the global economy, especially in the West, is the knowledge economy. And for you to be able to lead with the knowledge economy, you need to realign all the priorities, the thinking of your people to a common goal. Now then you drive them. But then and there is no sense of purpose, there is no sense of direction. Until legislation we rally around it. Now you live with the other areas bare. And the moral component of our society, if you sit down and ask yourself, say, are you proud? Do things even see a jembra no kratuma. How competent can the law be in an attempt to curb these things? Because consistently, these people are waging and it is coming. And the kind of influence these guys wear, even in America, where your friend is saying, wait for no. Conservative have been rising against these things. Trump buy or yes or be to control this thing. And US Supreme Court, yes, conservatives in the go, but still they are battling with this gay, anti-transgender, those stuff, because these people are very, very influential. It's a tisi chrome ha. They are now growing a yedi. See a person yet me succeeding a survivor. The various churches and as religious organizations, traditional government and as a foreign, we need to move beyond. Your friend is saying this legislation. Now you miss I say culturally, say na your culture necessity, your culture will chroma. And near my your screens, send the city churches, at the end of more year, the moral teachings in as for Togu and I hear Sikapene, your friends say Sanctuary campaign. We need to look at our priorities and realign them. And yes, our captain.
One thing is that we should even churches in the Krana, churches in the patches, TV na or Kwaku preaching was no. Fancy you near. Yeah, advertising and some also.
Yeah.
Titini unti onko advertise ho. Nti asorubia no ewo TV station. Pentecost ewo Pen TV. Press before we dey TV. Methodist for obi, obo for obi nim obi. Nti they are saying say asoroma no nkohwe wo TV. Na wonjai the other TV stations. Other TV station na wo man he. Sa TV no so ye kira wo ban say dey worry TV.
Yes. And that is the danger.
Sad the same TV now, our parents, no person better than 100 to have sort of TV. No,
yes.
And what Yakofa India near or country.
Yes.
Say Shatawali, MSN question Stumbo and on in the Kuntakwa or Mangwasi.
Look at this.
Na Yetwa, na Adumu ye, Onya ye.
Yes.
Na other can stations do a ye India for a country. Onya ye.
Yes. And is
ye India near or country. Changing the tree now can then anon court. But na ye country. Our TV so, oh, why na yakope before fraba, yeah, be pempena our TV so, be pekunu our TV so, na gesi bufaso, na boy sisu bufaso, ya kwa her boy, ya kwa her girl, our TV so. The point is, they say, Ghana ye culture no, to say that now cannot, day.
Captain, because when we're going up, now you share Chiche Kule, you share by the fireside, you share there was this other one, Kwasasa. And even on TV, they were giving moral lessons to the children.
Yes.
There was something that we grew up with.
Yeah.
But you see, I know what do you see on TV? Yes. All these things have been removed, and like you're saying, yeah, the telenovelas, just about people chasing other people, sleeping around with people. Yeah, adverts say sika, sika.
Big brother, I mean, that with TV so.
But we have a National Media Commission that's supposed to regulate.
National Media Commission be catch us what catch us on minister papa ni atro le taba. Na me won't be invite him to
Captain. And you see the danger aspect of this thing I am fire dream corner. You see the kind of psychological warfare some of this in a wage on the minds, you know. So always akranu nyina they are at war with themselves. They are the constitutive morality and what does not. So I never struggle, sir. When we no align to one side, then because sexual orientation, yeah, you can, and this way be my own bema dao, and that's how we about badao, and baby is the kind of orientation Albania. So I in the crowd blame you're orienting on us arguing about the team or you know and then you can't change them.
That's it.
It's an orientation. So if our TV stations in us for constantly be engaging in these things, you used to see at the air financing the mahunu TV so raw when this same thing can educate and invest in some of the youth a bit to me I'm a man for education training in as a former who free say emfa could do baby na yet one we nyina area never LGBT na who say yam kwan yasum nyame and I nyame man and I say America no mo yes ade no kwa no mo ye chenye yam ye ntine yam hu nyansa hu se ayen siseye ne nema ye beguo say ye gitum say your culture no is against these things then yenina collectively no yen rally around a common objective say you regulate not just the law number other aspect which are cultural moral and other aspect ni nyina no yen hwe na ye make sure say Ghana culture no yetimi widen no ama ni party say ye kire wo esukum TV so ye kire even TV kra one of the last time I say obi culture na say obi kire so there is no Ghanaian culture so the Western culture influence is quite pervasive. It's otherwise what everybody is consuming. And internet, TikTok, the hair no American. That is exactly what the Ghanaian is doing here because it's the same culture that is being thrown all over. So you cannot sit anywhere and say and say they are looking at Western culture because over there, I can look him in the face and tell you say, hey, you are messing up. What your hennes I was check, what's a check, or your henne, what's a chenam, and then you allow all these things to go on, and you think a time will come, people will respect you because they are being exposed to
a different culture,
and that culture there, you are able to confront them and tell them that if you papa cry now, they can ask you questions. Sabi, feel uncomfortable. So now, how your henne now, man, for you mess up with the culture now, then we all become Western. See, now Westernize who we are. I want to say, "Sir, Yanka say dear home." So people are more taken. They should rise and speak.
Right. But Timmy, you are soon me. I'm just giving you a very simple statement, and then we end this one. Orientation without culturalization is demonization. Orientation. Reorienting people without their culture is demonizing. And gradually, your system, acquire to say, Ivan a friend to my Nade, we are kokra, and then so we are cratching ya, who friend to my quay. Eti, and ne, a didi a woman, I've met a him for 1 minute to me fra.
With you.
O friend man be barano who not a chief form. But on his sanka, obi a cash was obi diaconana so o friend man.
That's right.
That's right. Rollins a do baby was a machentema. No can say yatadi. But Yasasa and Crofo Cromunia Meguia and so Sam and ne. When you're gone and you do a catch us a media cabanas later, they are ready made. Sister, thou be barber one. Both are ready made. If I want 2 minutes, boss.
That's right.
Hey, your course secondary school near what day are you friend to my class? Remember
Sundays, yeah.
Sundays, friend to my Northern Ghana, we shall smoke. Come on. It's yet to come. I say, who you depot? You did depot. I say, I saw for the catcher and say, hey, I was some more. Say, ye depot. Hey. Obi adwembon nti besi ne okodu krom ni krom twene kronim se de ye bono Uko krum na uko basafo yese wo som bosom. Uko krum na ubo fontom from a yese wo som bosom. O tumfo di ade dia na wo de nsa na niam komanhia na wa komba na mirror de touch echesen. Yey. Pentecost for a sermon me. Why? Because your demonstration I'm a magunsa. Me can so no ho ayekuo intimidation so me apologize here. But the point is that ye giant segu no Ghana na ye empire na ye kwan. Empire 1 kilometer ben. And a wokurum ha. Empire aduane ben na wokurum ha. What do you not to nchen me da bia meka o me sura asem ka je me se menka se ya tikrum ha yi hwe radio TV stations e woga na ha yina onua ka ho kubu kaba kabu baza buba kube asa tongues I can was them ni India sending ye wo Ghana TV so na
empire tons so your no TV so
India ni tongue or country Spanish ni a country na yen ankasa no Ghana ni ba ti me hwe telenovela not to hosu hey ya wo
agu ebi no ware kra
Ghana ni ba hwe telenovela na wa osune o asua dentra babu baza abreki abrepo akoma babu baza na oteho na osu and you see
me drunk na ya after the show no na ya discussions
babu baza discussion
captain me catch say ye jokers nyame me fa ko heaven no no na pe problem man ho
me kwa sorry bi na sofo na mi abere hyenkom ne tower so che me di o twipa na ni mani ma hu osunsu esunsu wiase bia ni ba bia mo bia ndada ma hu osunsu wo papa wo di sunsu wiase achi o at age 54 national chief imam onko sunsu wiase wa 300 ba hu kremonia wo ko sunsu wiase da oh muslim ayasha Dr. Duty hey when aka chen se wa ko sunsu wiase ba na kwai shankom ne niambre obuko buma madam for so me ni madwen kan no wo va na again e di ne bedi na okoda ase ti e ko jana man again akoda nyame ase se ne again di 40 years ni na e di na chi ni e kwa so aso aka se ye wokurum ha ya ba ko nti ono wo bush o twatimba e na ono mo mfefe nti ono ye late nti ono ba na de working gear na no di free bush wo na de ba na de kwa so aso no wo Kanesh, yeah, Kanesho. I saw him in the sofa near sofa cocoa, no fever. Yeah, call, yeah. So for you, Shem comes, or Shem comes, do a branch here, okay? Oh, soon, yes. My God. So, yes, I deal with Bush for Peso. I can't necessarily say the bottom of the chance for them all. Obey me, I saw down crazy, I'm so for a Bush form Peso be. I mean, who was soon movie as an old body inco. Madame for so or so. Or try myself for the cancer, I say, Captain. So, sovereignty or drink. Madame again. I was on them. Well, some do get you. Now, you see, ya may be done it, ya too gun and action you. That's my worry.
My captains, I would just say church, no, and they know. I buy your fancy business, and I'm all right.
Business, I know the church.
It is over here. They are using fear and intimidation to delve into the psyche of the people. Not yet, they are JJ. I know, but majority now. And do what church, you know, suffering ya. Now, who's of my community so. The makeup of right to me a penty you block better. Or no,
yeah, boom. Nanta, yeah. Nanta for TV. So for me makeup, bye bye.
GH bar.